You know what, guys? It's Mattview Reviews. Hello everyone, Mattview Reviews here, and today I'll be having a look at My Neighbor Totoro, which was directed by Hayao Miyazaki and is brought to us by the acclaimed Studio Ghibli. Now, to be honest, I have never seen a Studio Ghibli film, mostly because Red Eternal technically doesn't count because it wasn't a full-fledged project of theirs. Also, this is technically my third anime film, like, ever. If you count Red Eternal, that is, and I've also seen Interstellar 5555, which was awesome. Very hard to review because it's technically an elongated music video, but it's really, really good. Check it out if you like Daft Punk or just want a film to just keep in the background, just chill. It's a perfect background kind of movie for a party or something. But anyway, back to My Neighbor Totoro. Why am I reviewing this film now? Well, thanks to the Fathom Events' Studio Ghibli Fest, I will finally be able to see some of the classic Studio Ghibli films that have come out over the years. My Neighbor Totoro was the film for the month of June, and I was only able to make the subtitle version of the film. I was very much concerned that actually trying to take notes and reading subtitles at the same time would hinder my experience of the film. So I was a little nervous about that, but I mean, having seen the subtitle version, I can certainly say that is how I want to view every Studio Ghibli film I see, or any anime film in general. So, we're gonna head over ourselves a little bit. Let's dive into My Neighbor Totoro and the first category of animation success, starting with characters. So, in terms of characters, I really love the two sisters in Satsuki and Mei. They are absolutely adorable. They're just so energetic and imaginative. Every time they are on screen, I can't help but smile. They are very much like real kids. They are excited. They want to explore. They come up with all different kinds of scenarios where there are ghosts and creatures of all kinds. They also can get upset and jump to scary conclusions because they don't know any better. Because they are kids after all. This is a perfect representation of children in film, which is very uncommon actually. Besides the two sisters who are great, the father is really good, as someone who's really carrying a heavy burden. He moved his entire family to a new home, has to work a lot, his wife is in the hospital, and he has to take care of his two girls as well. With all of that weight on his shoulders, he still makes everything as enjoyable and special for his children as possible. Finally, the titular character himself, Totoro. He is absolutely adorable. He is so cute, and his interactions with the two girls are priceless. Just his presence on screen is enough to make anyone of any age just smile. You can truly see how his likeness has captured the hearts of millions over the years. He has certainly done the same with me. Next, let's talk about the voice acting. This is actually difficult, mostly due to the fact that I can't understand Japanese, so I don't necessarily know how believable the lines were delivered. I can say without a doubt that all of Satsuki and Mei's lines were delivered with immense joy and happiness, and that made me feel extremely happy inside. But for the rest of this section, I suppose it should be more the dialogue rather than voice acting, shall we say. Well, speaking of which, I think it's great. There are some really great lines, and practically everything makes sense in this film and enjoyable in this world that the film has created. I say almost everything is believable because it is Japan, and they are certainly different when it comes to certain things, but in their own fun and unique way. I would say practically every line makes perfect sense in the world that the film sets up, and that's enough for a thumbs up for me. So that's all I can really ask for. Next, let's talk about the story. So, a father and his two daughters move into a run-down house near a large forest. Their mother is currently in the hospital with an illness, and while adjusting to their new area, they come across some mystical creatures, including the giant forest guardian Totoro. The sisters have fun interactions with Totoro and these little creatures that follow him around. I do say interactions because there is no real grand adventure. The film's main focus is on the two sisters and how they interact with their new neighbors, schoolmates, and Totoro. It is an extremely simple film, which I have to say is incredibly refreshing, actually. Too often you find filmmakers going out of their way to come up with some outlandish premise and just throw wacky ideas at the wall to see what sticks and to make the next buck. Boss Baby, great example of that. My Neighbor Totoro shows you don't need some great grand idea to make a great film. My Neighbor Totoro has great characters having fun interactions with other fun characters. It is nothing over the top or extreme, and I would not want it any other way. Its simplicity is one of its greatest features, actually. There is no real conflict in the film either. No great evil, no enemy, nothing. The film is just these girls and Totoro. which is all the film really needs. The film really doesn't need an antagonist. I really expected this film to be like similar to like E.T. or The Iron Giant, you know? Like, there's some fun, otherworldly entity that the kids hang out with, but the government comes in to take them away. And I am so glad that did not happen. That is something that makes this film special. There is a dilemma towards the end of the film that gets resolved, but this is really the only struggle that we see in the film, is that little conflict at the end there. So we really don't see our characters really go through any major struggle. I mean, obviously they're dealing with, you know, their mother being in the hospital, but it's not like that's life or death scary. It's just she's sick and she's in the hospital and they're worried about her. It's nothing major. But like, again, it's just them having fun with Totoro and enjoying their new surroundings. I mean, I have to say, this was probably the best feel-good movie I have ever seen. I cannot recall the last time I left the theater with a smile just plastered on my face like that. I was just so happy with the masterpiece I had finally gotten to see. It is just perfect for what this film wants and needs to be. Well, after that gush fest, it's going to continue. Up next, we have the animation, which, in its remastered glory on the big screen, looked astounding. I love to see 2D animation get the love it deserves, and my god, did it get it here. This film looked incredible. The lighting is absolutely breathtaking, as well as the stunning backgrounds. The designs of the characters are fantastic. Totoro and his little friends are adorable, as are Mei and Satsuki. Also, just the little details the animators focus on are just fantastic. If Mei was on her knees in dirt, the next scene when she is walking, you see the dirt on her knees. It's little details like that I am a sucker for. I love when the little things like that get picked up on, and it is just great to see in this film. The animation is just spectacular. It may have mostly been the remaster, but I was stunned when I found out that this film came out in 1988. No matter how much the film was cleaned up, the fact that this film had come out in 88 is a testament to how great Studio Ghibli's animation team truly is. And finally, we have the music in My Neighbor Totoro, and it's fantastic again. The score gives me chills of just joy. I get those whenever I hear the score to some of my favorite films. I get it every time I hear Star Wars, the opening crawl theme. I just lose it. The hairs on my arms just stand up. I get goosebumps. Same with Indiana Jones, and even the Guardians of the Galaxy theme has started to do that to me. It's just to name a few of the films that I love, and their score just gets me going. So happy. That's just how powerful Totoro's score is. Just the same. I love it so much. It is just so whimsical, so cute, just so much fun. It makes you feel like a kid watching it, and that's just a rare feeling. Also, the little song Totoro and his friends play on their flutes is just so dang cute. I love it to pieces. So, in conclusion, My Neighbor Totoro is a classic. It is a masterpiece. It is so good. As soon as I am done with this review, you should go watch it, like immediately. It has honestly become one of my favorite animated films of all time, and quite possibly may have just cracked the top 10 favorite list, my top 10 favorite films of all time list. I'm being serious. It's on the top 10. I love this film. I love it so much. So, it's probably very apparent by now, but I am giving My Neighbor Totoro a very strong 5 out of 5. It truly is a classic. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Check back next time for my review of Despicable Me 3. But until then, check out all the great content on the Discord Center. Check out my ongoing 31 Voices in 31 Days series on my personal channel. And if it's not your birthday today, happy birthday! And I will see you guys next time. Bye!